You know, in business, just like in any game, whether it's chess or football, if you don't know the language, you can't even begin to come up with a winning strategy. So today, we're going to decode the essential vocabulary you need to know.
Think about it. Every industry is basically its own playing field with its own set of rules and a whole cast of characters. So the real question is, do you actually know all the players in your game? And more importantly, do you get the role each one of them plays? Okay, so let's start right there. I mean, before you can make a single move, you absolutely have to know who else is on the board with you. It's time to scout the competition. So, on the surface, the definition of a competitor seems pretty simple, right? It's just the other companies going after your customers. But here's the thing. In any industry, these rivals fall into some very distinct categories. And trust me, they are not all created equal. Most industries kind of break down like this. You've got your key players. These are the big dogs, the established names that pretty much set the tone for everyone else. Then you have the minor players, who are always scrapping for their piece of the pie. And of course, you can never ever forget the startups. They're the wild cards, the ones trying to completely change the game. Knowing where a rival fits tells you a whole lot about how they're likely to act.
All right, so now we know the players. But what about the game itself? How intense is it out there? The words we use to describe the arena, well, they tell us everything about the kind of strategy we're going to need to survive.
For example, you might hear someone describe the competition as fierce. That means every single move is going to be aggressively challenged.
Or maybe it's even worse. It's cutthroat. This is a no-holds-barred kind of fight, where rivals will do pretty much anything to win. Sometimes, the fight isn't necessarily brutal, it's just stiff. You know, a really crowded market where gaining even an inch of ground is a huge victory.
And then you've got the other end of the spectrum, where things are low-key. This is a much calmer game, where different players have kind of found their own little corners to play in. Understanding which arena you're in? Absolutely critical.
Now we get to the playbook. And this is where all this language leads to a really, really important distinction. It all comes down to two little words that sound almost the same, but oh man, understanding the difference can totally change your entire strategy.
So what is the difference between competing and competitive? And believe me, this isn't just about grammar. This is the absolute key to how you see your place in the market.
Okay, here's the core idea. Competing is the action. It's all about the fight, right? It's about direct opposition. But competitive, that's a quality. It's about focusing on your own unique strengths, your edge. See the difference? The first one is about reacting to your rivals. The second is about building something they can't easily react to.
Just think about it for a second. We see the word competing everywhere. Competing bids, competing offerings, competing suppliers. Each one of these describes a direct, head-to-head clash. It's always this versus that.
But competitive, that describes a quality that you possess. A competitive advantage is your secret weapon. Competitive prices means your pricing is one of your strengths. It's a huge shift in mindset, from focusing on the fight to focusing on what makes you uniquely built to win it.
So, how do we put all this to work? This isn't just a vocabulary quiz. This is a toolkit for thinking strategically. When you use these terms the right way, it allows you to see your position with total clarity and build your plan from there.
All right, let's recap the big takeaways here. First, you've got to map out the entire field. Know your key players, minor players, and the startups. Second, get a real feel for the intensity of that field. Is it fierce or is it low-key? And the most important one, truly understand the difference between the action of competing with rivals and the quality of being competitive because of what makes you special. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about in your own world, your business, your career, whatever project you're leading. Stop thinking only about who you're competing against. Instead, start asking what makes us competitive? What is our single greatest advantage on this entire board? Because answering that, well, that's what really matters.